Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Beastars Episode 6. So, I didn't have to wait a while for this to actually get released this time. I did not actually check yesterday to see if it was released, because we recorded the podcast last night, and I didn't get home till around 1, so I just went to sleep. But I checked today, and it was up, so yeah. Last couple times it wasn't getting uploaded till like Saturday, but whatever. As long as it's kind of on time. So last episode, I believe we start off with, I think he's a golden retriever, Lugosi's friend. He's walking to the pool area because that's where Lugosi is. He's avoiding the cafeteria right now because of the incident that happened at the play, where he and the tiger kind of got into a huge fight. Mainly Lugosi punching him in the face, and then the tiger scratching his back. But anyway, he tells Lugosi that it was a good idea for him to avoid the pool. He doesn't tell him what he heard, but apparently one of the herbivores, not apparently, it happened, was saying that she was there and she remembers what happened and how the wolf went totally crazy and brought out a machine gun and like things that weren't even true. Like they just totally added in a whole bunch of stuff that never happened. Which, I mean, usually is the case when people are trying to talk about something that happened, but not that. It never goes that far as I know. Anyway, he has the newspaper and he's showing Lugosi, look, their story was on the front cover, and you got this photo with, the tiger and Lewis, and they kind of go into a flashback because he asks, when did you guys get so close? And he's like, well, it's not really like that, but and they went into a flashback where they show Lewis yelling at the two of them for doing what they did. He gave the tiger back his rabbit blood, and he said that he wasn't even upset about that. The only thing that upset him was that they got blood on the stage. And he was basically going to put them on a suspension from the club for a while to let them cool off, I guess. But a lot of his fans were in the back, and the reporter for the school newspaper was there, and she's trying to ask questions. And he's telling them, look, we're going to say that this was planned. All right? And you guys are going to have to go with that anytime it is brought up. And so he steps out from behind his pillar and basically tells them, yeah, we've been planning this change for a while. Took a big chance with having these two, do their thing and all that. And then he goes, all right, well, now these guys will explain the rest of it. And then he walks off. Lugosi was a little worried that his friend would, I guess, not want to talk to him anymore if he found out that it wasn't an act on the stage, that he was actually angry and punching that dude. But he already knew. He knew it wasn't an act. He knew he was basically letting out some anger. Anyway, they head back to their class, and he brought up, I forget what brought up the topic, but he asked him, I believe, if he was like something about him being in love or something like that, and Lugosi kind of froze, and the dog was like, wait a minute, are you real, like for real here? And Lugosi is trying to get away from him, and he's like just following after him, asking, "Okay, who is it? Okay, there's only 4 female wolves in our class. It's could be." He's like, "We could narrow this down really easily." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, you go ahead and do that." And he goes, "Wait, is it not a wolf?" And he's like getting really excited because Lugosi kind of keeps to himself a lot. He um, doesn't really interact with a whole lot of people unless it's like in his group at the club or his friends. But other than that, he doesn't really talk to a lot of people other than that. Then they cut to Haru, where we find out that apparently Lewis goes to visit her, I guess, semi regularly, um, for some extracurricular activities. Um, I guess he likes that she doesn't really ask questions or bring up anything, that they just kind of go for it. I guess it's getting closer to summer break because everybody's talking about what they're going to do. And the drama club was actually invited to help out with this festival that's going to be taking place. The Meteorite Festival, where they basically celebrate the life of the dinosaurs. Um, anyway, they're basically discussing how they're going to be doing a lot of work and everybody else is going to be having fun. And, well, some of them are. Others are more excited about it. But Lugosi's, as usual, seems kind of indifferent, not really complaining, and he's not excited too much, but he'll do it. And as they're walking down one of the roads on the school, he kind of stops and says that he'll catch up with them later. He's got something he's got to do, and he walks off. I guess it's been a month or so since the incident, and the others aren't really, they're not on edge about it anymore. Most of them. One of them made a comment about it, but that's about it. Didn't sound like he was afraid or anything like that. He just kind of went, "Well, we got this guy. We got to be careful around, Don't want to set him off." Then they cut to Haru in one of the halls where she is taking a vase that has some flowers in it because they're dying, and she's going to try to bring them back. But as she's walking down the hall, the Harlequin rabbit trips her. The vase breaks, or vase, however you want to say it. And she just starts going on, like this Harlequin rabbit just going on, and her two, what are they, cats? Her two cat buddies. I guess basically something happened with her boyfriend. I guess he broke up with her. So she's taking out her frustrations on Haru, thinking that she had something to do with it. At least, Haru's asked if they broke up, and I don't think the rabbit actually confirmed, but maybe by the way she reacted to it proved that it did happen. And then Haru starts going on this rant about how she's lost if she's doing all this and blah blah blah, and the rabbit and the cat, I think they're cats, are kind of shrinking down, like her ears have gone down and she's like looking afraid. And Haru is just going and going and going because I'm assuming, no, I can't assume because it's actually happening. She believes that it's her words that are giving them this reaction, when really it's Lugosi walking up from behind her. So there's this huge wolf standing behind Haru, and they're freaking out. And then they run off. Haru's feeling pretty happy with herself. Until I think it was the Harlequin rabbit yelled out, "You go ahead and get eaten by yourself." And she turns around and sees Lugosi, who's trying to get the courage to talk to her. Because, what was it, 2 episodes ago? Where he was helping her out at the club. He mentioned that he wanted to talk to her more and get to know her. And she's talking, but he's not really listening too well because he's too busy in his mind going on about how he wants to talk to her and how maybe this isn't such a good idea. And as she's trying to pick up the flowers, he picks up one, starts to hand it, and asks her if she's okay. And she kind of gets this kind of look on her face, and basically tells him, "Look, I don't take any kind of favors or whatever from people I've slept with." And tries to walk off, and he puts his hand on the wall, slams it against the wall, and he's like, "We didn't do anything." And that's when she remembers that, oh yeah, we didn't do anything. He covered me up and then he ran away. And now he's kind of freaking out because he did that. And she actually says, "Okay, well, have you eaten yet? Because I'm about to go and get some food. You want to come along?" And they go to the cafeteria to get some dinner. And throughout this entire scene, Haru is doing all the talking when there is talking between the two. Lugosi is mostly inner monologuing about what she means when she says something, about what a bad idea it was for him to even attempt to talk to her. All these things he's just thinking in his mind without actually talking with her. The one thing he did want to get was her name. He was thinking to himself, "When's a good time to ask for her name? Because I don't know her name." Meanwhile, she's kind of freaking out. Whenever he eats something, one of her legs kind of has a reflex. Like how when the doctor hits your knee, that little nerve area around your knee that makes your leg go kick up. She's having one of those. Apparently, when she sees him open his mouth and she sees his big teeth, her instincts tell her to run. And she's trying to not do that. But it's a lot harder than she thought it would be. Anyway, when he's getting ready to ask for her name, she's like, "Oh, well, that was a good dinner, so thanks for just kind of chatting with me." And then she's like, "Well, I'm about to head to the dorms. What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "I guess I'll head back too." And they start walking to the dorms. And she notices that the button on her shoes kind of unsnapped. And she's having a little difficulty, reapplying it. And he goes down and he does it for her. Where they finally kind of look each other in the eyes, and she gives him her name because she's like, "You can't keep calling me Rabbit," because he's like, Rabbit's eyes are pitch black. And she was like, "Well, that's a weird thing to say." And he goes, "Well, I mean, it's the first time I've ever really looked in a rabbit's eyes." And that's when she was like, "Well, I mean, you can't keep calling me Rabbit. So, my name is Haru. What's your name?" And he tells her his name. And that's pretty much where it ended. So this was a long explanation of what happened in the last episode. It's been a while since I've done that. But, yeah. It was a good episode. I don't know if we're going to start around the festival or if we're going to do a little more at the school before then. But let's get into the episode and see what's going to happen. There we go. Okay, so the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.